All right there, thank you for staying tuned. Diesel is a critical fuel used in transportation, agriculture, manufacturing, and power generation, among others. The recent drop in the price of diesel in Nigeria has received positive comments from many Nigerians, as it's expected to impact economic activities, particularly, of course, those that rely on heavily on diesel for their operations. Experts say the drop in price of the commodity can lead to reduction in production costs for many companies and improve economic activities across different sectors. Let's look at the sustainability of this price decline and what's the outlook for competition in the market vis-a-vis the conversation around federal government's price control mechanisms. Let's get talking. I introduced him earlier. He is the Director General, Nigerian Employers Consultative Association, Mr. Adewale Oyerinde. Thank you so much. I had to bounce on that Oyerinde so very well. Good afternoon, DG. It's good to see you.
Thank you for having us once again.
Yes. DG, let's start with this. We just got a press release. It's now 940, 970. That's what diesel will sell for like 1,600 to this. It seems like things are really changing. How does this come to you?
Absolutely. You know, it's one of the many good news, you know, that you are looking forward to hearing, you know, in the context of what is happening or what has happened in the past. And we really want to commend the resilience once again and the doggedness of the owners of the Dangote refinery, Alhaji Dangote, and everyone that have supported that project. You know, for a country where we have about 4 refineries, and for whatever reason we couldn't get those refineries to work, and an individual understanding, looking at that environment, looking at the dynamics of that sector, and decided to stick his head out.
Yes.
And look, I want to do this. You know, it takes more than resilience to do that. So kudos to Alhaji Dangote and to every other person that have promoted that refinery. And its consequences, the consequences of that refinery is far and wide, because it's going to touch the whole value chain of business in this country. The whole topography of the business environment is going to really affect it. And positively, we are seeing it happening already.
Indeed, because this is going to affect transport costs. It's expected that to also lower inflation, also production costs. Let's be specific now. Let's look at businesses that have had projections already, 1,600 naira per liter, and now you're going to buy for maybe 1,001 or 1,000 naira. Yeah. How does this? Let's look at the positives here.
You know, the reality is this. You know, power constitutes a major chunk of the production cost, and it has the potential to squeeze a business out of existence. So the coming of the Dangote refinery and the gradual dropping in price, you know, will be positive to organizations that are actually powered by diesel. It will reduce the cost of production. It also give them the more opportunity to breathe. It's just like your windpipe is opened up a bit. Your windpipe that is already squeezed by so many issues beyond your control. Now the Dangote refinery is coming. It has reduced the price of diesel. So your windpipe, not that you are healthy. It doesn't mean the business is healthy, but the fact is that your windpipe, the ability to breathe, has increased quite a bit. And it's also have effect on the jet fuel, you know, with consequential effect on the prices of airfares also coming down. So the total effect on production, on cross-sectoral influence is quite massive. Not to talk of issue of job creation. And also job creation within the context of the Dangote refinery. All the businesses that will spring up in that value chain is quite huge also, which will also feed into the issue of creating jobs and providing employment for the team in Nigeria. So it's quite a huge impact that it's going to make.
I'll follow up with that. There is this belief in this part of the world that when prices of goods go up, they rarely come down. Yes, I'm a Nigerian, and I agree to that fact. So what can we do to make sure? We hear in some places bag of rice is about an amount. It used to be this amount. How can we make sure that business people, business owners don't take advantage of Nigerians? I'm being very clear here. Well, how do we get that sorted?
You know, for us in NECA, one of the things we preach is responsible enterprises. And we are proud to flaunt this. You know, responsible enterprises. And it's showing gradually, you know. If you go to the supermarket, some prices, this morning I heard the price of rice is coming down I was supermarket about 4 days ago, and I've had a customer was trying to buy one of the bottled drinks, and he had to call the sales point person to say, look, this price has come down from the last time I bought it. Is it correct? And that was gladdening that, look, the myth of what goes up in Nigeria cannot come down. I think we are breaking that consistently and progressively, and I think we'll get there. The dynamics of price is intriguing. If you don't understand how price is arrived at, then you have a different perception of it. Your assumptions or conclusions might definitely be wrong. So it takes a lot for you to sit down and understand the price dynamics, and that's one of the appeals to agencies that are now involved in the issue of price enforcement. It takes a bit of looking back. Let's understand how these prices come about, and then let's get everyone to align with the context of agreeing with those prices. We cannot sit in our offices. We cannot, for whatever reason, in a Gestapo style, harass businesses on the issue of price. If you don't understand it, then you have to seek understanding first. And as I said, progressively, businesses are aligning with the agenda of this government. Businesses are aligning with the effort that this government is making. Progressively, the government is also building consensus, building trust, which is quite important. And that is why you see the response of businesses, that prices are coming down. People are responding to the president's cry that, look, we have to be part of this,
yes,
this recovery, this attempt to cause an economic renaissance for our country. And definitely, most businesses are responding to that cry.
Staying with the pricing thing, we know what happened at the time with the aviation sector, where there was a price hike and all of that, and where FCCPC came in and all of that. Now we see FCPC back again to our supermarkets, trying to check prices. For me, I have issues sometimes. You get to the shelf and it's a price, and you get to the pay point, it's another price. These are things that Nigerians have talked about. So what would you say about activities of the FCCPC in addressing some of these sharp practices? You wouldn't say 100% that some people don't engage in this.
Yeah, people engage in it basically, and we can't excuse those businesses. And our call is this: for businesses that are engaged in sharp practices,
yes,
let the full weight of the law let it come on them.
Good.
Now, for those that are doing legitimate business, good, then you should be able to create a system that can sieve the weight from the chaff. Now, for the supermarket, if you have a different price on the shelf and a different price at the pay point, it's either two ways. Either the business is trying to be smart on the customers, or they have serious operational issues.
Yes.
Once you change the price
should be updated
on the shelf, it should be updated.
Yes.
So that is not an excuse for it happening. And it's for the customer to insist that, look, this is the price on the shelf, and this is the price that I'm going to pay. That is one part of it. Now, the recent issues of the FCCP going around the Gestapo style, Boston business. Come on, we're not in a dictatorial environment. We're in a democracy. And I said, until you understand the dynamics of prices, then you will not get it right. And I must say this: if I order for raw materials when the dollar was 1,004, and we must commend the work that this government has done, we must commend the president, commend the minister of finance, we commend the governor of the CBN for taking the risk to frontally address these issues of forex. And I say risk because there are so many entrenched interests that don't want the naira to gain value. But they faced the risk, and we are seeing the benefit now. Naira is gaining ground, is gaining muscle. And now, if I order for input from over to buy raw materials, and I bought the raw materials when dollar was 1,400, it takes an average of 60 to 120 days to ship goods, except you are using airplane cargo. It takes about 60 days, let's say 60 days, for the goods, the raw materials to come. Now, I will definitely value those goods, value the materials, the output from those raw materials based on the value of 1,004. So within that 60 days, if the dollar comes down to 50 naira, dollar to 50 naira, you didn't say amen. If the dollar comes down,
well, anyway, let's leave that. Realistically, so, please go on, DG.
If the dollar should come to, if the dollar should come to 1 naira per $1,
okay. So what happens
in 30 days? 30 days after I've ordered.
Yeah.
I have ordered.
Yes.
At a price of 1,004.
Yes.
Now, what do I do? Now you come the next day and you say dollar is now 1,000, is now 1 naira to $1. Then I should sell the products that I produced using when I bought dollar for 1,400. I should sell it at that value of 1 naira to $1. How is it going to happen? Because we are going to create a different dynamics. The FCCP will think, yes, they are doing the consumer good, they are doing the consumers a lot of good. They think they are doing the economy a lot of good. But meanwhile, you are sabotaging it. Because a business that buys dollar, you bought dollar for 1,004, and because their dollar is now 1,000 naira, and you expect me to sell at that price, two things will happen. The business owner will likely sell at a loss because he has most likely collected a loan from the bank.
Yeah.
The interest rate is going up, so the bank is going to charge him on the interest based on 1,400 naira to dollars. Now, the business is expected to produce, to sell, and to make profit.
Yes.
And with the ambitious tax collection rates that the FRS have set for itself, or that the government have set for itself, FRS can only tax a business that is profitable.
True.
So the more those businesses become unprofitable because of certain things that we don't take into consideration, the more difficult it is for the FRS to meet its own target of tax revenue, the more difficult it becomes for government to meet its own obligation of providing infrastructure for the citizens. Now, the FCCP might think, yes, we have done our bit. Kudos to us. But you have created problems. Not only for the business, you've created problems for the business in context of its ability to repay its loans, and you've created problems for the FRS with the context of its ability to meet its target, because it's a profitable business that the FRS can tax. It cannot tax a business that is out of existence. So the understanding of that supply chain and the dynamics of price is what we are asking that the FCCP should look at before we come into this context of, yes, this organization must pay this how much they can sell, this how much they can sell. The last time the government, that was about 40 years ago, as I read, when the Diagmo government tried to enforce prices. They went on price control mechanism, forcing business to do this. So that partly led to the exit of Kingsway, the Kingsway that you have, the Leventis that you have. Because look, you can't just come in a Gestapo style, come with police, military, and then you are compelling a business that you must buy this, you must sell this at this rate without considering how much they bought those inputs. Now, this is not excusing organizations that are actually trying to game the system. As I said, NECA promotes responsible enterprises. And for as many of those organizations that have been caught to be actually gaming the system, I think they should face the full weight of the law.
Beautiful. I like that. Let's move forward very, very quickly. Back to our conversation. Many believe that if this price of diesel is stable, there will be, of course, market stability and all of that. But I'm thinking the companies that have left and some of, would this attract more to, can this attract more people to want to invest in Nigeria looking at the environment?
Absolutely. If the current reform, if you remember some time ago, maybe in January when we were here, we said, like prophets, that the benefit of the reform, when the reform was actually biting hard, that the benefit of this reform, if the government is consistent, is focused in pulling through these reforms, by the second quarter, they will start seeing the fruits of the reforms. And we are not yet in the second quarter. We are not yet in the out of the second quarter, and we are already seeing some positive signals, some positive response of the market. We believe strongly it's going to bring back a lot of businesses. Those that have left might consider coming back. Once your environment is stable, the price of power is manageable. The price of your foreign exchange is good enough. And then your judiciary is working. And then the environment is safe. Security of lives and property
very important.
is important. Now, once those parameters, those items are becoming positive. Once you are moving from the negative to the stability and then to positives, then it naturally stirs up the interest of investors. Then the president will do less traveling around, going to market the country, going to seek for investors, because the investors are monitoring these parameters. And once it crosses to a consistent positive trajectory, then it has the potential, a very high potential, of dragging back investors to this country.
So it seems like we are getting to that transition period is where we are, and it seems like things are moving as planned. What will be your outlook for another quarter if things continue like this, at this pace and all?
If the CBN continues its wonderful job of keeping the naira stable,
yes,
dragging it down, if the Dangote refinery is supported more and we get the Port Harcourt refinery back on stream, then the huge chunk of imports of forex we spend on imports will reduce. Now, with the jet fuel, the prices of airfare will also most likely come down.
We hear local flights are starting to drop.
So it trickles down gradually. And as it trickles down, it also increases the disposable income of the individual, of the household. And the more money the household have to spend, the more they can patronize businesses. So the more the business also we have to sell, which also translates to more income for the business, more profit for the business, and also enables the business to also do more of CSR, take care of employee welfare, and also pay more tax to the government. So the trajectory is quite positive, and we just hope that the government will continuously seek consensus, build consensus of the nationals, of the subnationals, build consensus with the citizens so that everybody can align with the direction that the president is going.
Are the private sector guys playing their role at this point? Do you think they are?
Absolutely. With the constraint that the private sector is currently facing, with the challenges that we are currently facing, I think the private sector is doing its best to support this government. Now, I've given analysis before that with the price of diesel coming down, it's like your windpipe that is almost blocked is just opening up a bit.
Yes.
You are not out of the woods. You are not in good health, but your windpipe is a bit enlarged, which gives you the opportunity to breathe more. With more opportunities to breathe more, then you start gaining your energy, you start gaining your muscle, and which is what the private sector is doing now. So once we get to that point of sustainability, I must tell you, most businesses are at the point of at the realm of survival now. So once we move to the realm of sustainability, then the ability of the private sector to play its role as the true engine of national development will also be enhanced. But much is being done, and we believe the government will also play its part. Now, it is very important for us to address the contradictions.
Go ahead.
Now, the price of diesel is coming down, and then the price of electricity is going up, because most businesses are basically in the band A level.
Yes, so the band A.
Now,
the tariffs are high.
We are making gains from diesel. And then the gain you are supposed to be making from diesel,
it's going on electricity.
The electricity is taking it away. So those are the contradictions that government needs to take into consideration.
Very serious.
So that the benefit from one sector is not neutralized by the activities of another agency or activities of some other policies within the government contradicting each other. Those we saw numerous times in the last administration. So we really appeal that the government should take a critical look at these issues so that there will be alignment. The growth will be inclusive, and there will be alignment within the context of growth. It's a big concern to organized businesses when policies contradict each other.
I like that point. I will take that up on our next discussion. Mr. Adewale Oyerinde, he is the Director General of the Nigerian Employers Consultative Association. Thank you so much. It's really good to have you on the show as usual.
Always our pleasure.
Yeah. Let's take a break. When we come back, we head to the market. Effiong is live from the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange. We'll get talking markets. This Business Nigeria. Don't go away.